challenge assumption, and give a voice to the unheard. This is the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It's still the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Sage Babalola is my name. And we just reviewed the papers, the Punch, Guardian and the Vanguard newspaper, talking about national issues. We talked about the education sector and all the many problems that bedevils that sector. We have lecturers having to live a life, an unpleasant life, just because they want to carry out their responsibilities, to the point of sleeping within the school premises because the cost of transportation is nothing to write home about. How then can we expect the best from them if they are living uncomfortable lives? We spoke about the power sector. I do not know where to begin with the power sector. This is a problem that has been on for years and years on end, with generation, with transmission, with distribution, and now a rising debt profile within the power sector that is causing the stoppage of operations. Gas supply specifically. What does this mean for power generation and power distribution in the country? That answer is not something that I can provide to you. Only an expert can. But by sake of common sense, I think we know the answer to that very question, especially with a national grid that is very unreliable and undependable. We spoke about what's going on within the political scene and how there's been a lot of planning and re-strategizing ahead of the 2027 election, and also problems within even our agricultural sector. If farmers who are unable to provide adequate food products are still suffering 40% post-harvest losses, what happens to the ability to supply food for ourselves? But then, in the midst of all of this, we're collaborating with foreign countries. The German president was here, and we're seeing how we can harness our power sector. We have the resources, we have good weather, we have the people, they have the technology. But then, Fᴜᴜ, for example, is of the opinion that nobody is going to hand you their technology. In fact, this is popular statement, you have to steal technology. I don't even know who made that particular statement. I think Fᴜᴜ will know when we bring him on. But then you have to steal technology. Nobody will give it to you. So since we know that our problem is a deficit in terms of technology, why don't we build our own technology? But how can we build our technology if our education sector is in shambles? This opens us up to the interconnectedness of how one problem or problems in one sector can have a ripple effect on all the other sectors of the economy. Is Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. I'm Sage Babalola once again. It's Open Mic Thursday. We don't pick the stories for you. You pick the stories. All we do is listen. Fᴜᴜ joins us very briefly to talk to us about his focus for the day, and I would announce the phone lines and also the other channels through which you can communicate with us. Fᴜᴜ, thank you for being on standby. Good morning once again, and what is your focus for the morning?
Well, Sage, just the two sectors we've talked about all morning. You know, they are interconnected whether you like it or not. The problem in the power sector, I don't know really, and that's why I had to come to the conclusion that maybe we need to declare national emergency. Really, something has to be done. We can't continue to have this, say, 12 grid collapses in a year. So that's an average of 1 month, one per month. You know, over the last 12 months, and it's tough, really. Say, it's tough to see these things happen. You know, we're looking for people to bring in their foreign direct investment. And the things that are supposed to create that enabling environment for businesses to thrive is not available. Whether you like it or not, one of the most critical sectors for any business to thrive, whether local or foreign, is the power sector. There must be a power available for businesses to run. So if you have this, you know, continuous glitches, today the grid collapses, tomorrow it collapses, it is, it that, you know, it doesn't help anybody really. That's why you see some companies say, leaving Nigeria to go set up factories in Ghana. Apart from other regulatory issues, bureaucratic bottlenecks and all of that, the environment is not just conducive for anybody to run business. I'm telling you. See. And look, most of the thriving economy, see, look at the Asian tigers, for example, their story. They'll tell you, it is how they are able to help small businesses thrive that has helped their economy. Those little businesses. And those little businesses, what they need, see, whether you like it or not, is power supply. Those businesses that will employ 2, 3, 4 people maximum. You look, go to most of these Asian countries, that's what you see. A flat, there's something they are producing. One small house, there's something they are producing. So how do you move your country, your economy, from a consumption economy to a producing economy without power supply? Oh, you are trying to eat a $1 trillion economy, and you have your grid collapsing 12 times in 12 months. Is that not lying to yourself in reality? See, and like I told you, the worst form of lie is not the lie that is told to you. It is the lie you tell to yourself, and you begin to even believe your own lie. So when you get to the point of delusion, that you now begin to even believe your own lie, then there's a problem. And one of the lies we are believing consistently now that we're telling to ourselves is the economy is moving forward. It's moving nowhere. And then on the issue of the education, say, the late sage said it. Nobody is going to transfer their technology to you. You first have to build capacity, go out there, steal their technology, like other countries did. Look, say there was a time, a country like Taiwan, China, you know, when they produce something, people will insult them, say, oh, go not very Taiwan. They are fan. I remember they are fan of those things. But they gradually stole this technology from Europe and America. And look at what they have become today. Everybody produces everything in China now. They didn't start that way. Taiwan didn't start that way. The Asian side didn't start that way. But look, the foundation is how well you are able to invest in your educational sector. Look at the story of India. Do you think India got to where they are today by mere wishes, by misappropriation of funds, correcting corruption, lack of commitment to the educational sector? The foundation of India's development today is how well they were able to invest in education. What are we doing with our own education? Oh, you think it's about nail fund and student loan? Go to the university stage. Go and see the conditions of our university. And you understand what I'm saying. God bless Nigeria. See.
Fuad, thank you very much. God bless you for your time. Well, let's listen to you. Let's hear what you have to say. Fuad has given us his perspective on the matter. Let's hear what you have to say. And like I said, it's such an interesting time on Thursdays because you can speak your mind. But then in speaking our minds, I would love for us to consider the fact that we are on a public platform and there is a need for us to employ some level of decorum in our speech, please, so that we're able to really talk. If we say things that are not accommodated on radio, it forces my hands to discontinue the conversation, and the message that you want to pass to us, you're unable to do so. It doesn't benefit me, it doesn't benefit you. So please, let's work together. Please let us work together. You can reach us via the phone. You can call 0913 6000 410. The phone line again, 0913 6000 410. You can send a message in case the phone lines are jammed, either via WhatsApp or via direct text message, 0913 6000 430. The number for messages again, 0913 6000 430. We're still streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can use the option to send a message right there on the streaming platform. You can find us on social media at Mainland 98.3 FM. There's a red circle on our icon there. Just click it. That takes you straight to the live stream, but I believe everyone knows how that works. But just for the sake of conversation, join the live stream and it just gives you the option of sending a message to us via our streaming platform. Our start to take contributions 2 minutes is the time that is allotted to everyone who would like to call. Please allow me an opportunity, 5 minutes tops, to read the backlog of messages that we had gotten during the course of the day, and I'll come straight to the phone to listen to you as well. On Facebook, Christopher F. Young says, "Hi Sage and Mr. Fuad, God bless you guys. For the collapse of the national grid many times under this administration, it is worrisome to many of us. Notwithstanding, is there anything that has not collapsed in Nigeria? Healthcare, road, education, etc., even the power sector. People who don't even have businesses or people who don't have any idea of running that sector have taken over the sectors. How then do you expect it to function properly?" But they just said President Tinubu should make the price of fuel to come down to 300 naira per litre. Food price should also come down, which is the most important of all. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much. We have another one here. Onotoye Michael, who says, "Hello Mainland FM. My worries are becoming enormous this morning following the manner at which the national grid has continued to collapse for the 12th time and how the government has continued to remain adamant even to the continuous food inflation crisis in the country. The rate at which prices of food items and commodities continue to rise is alarming, especially this December period, which is the festive season. The most annoying is where this present administration has continued to govern based on propaganda. If not, I'm yet to see anyone or get the location of where the government sells the 50 kg of rice for 40,000 naira. As at today, a 50 kg of rice in the market is 125,000 naira, which before this administration came on board was sold for 35,000. If the present minimum wage of 70,000 naira cannot buy a bag of rice, then what is the essence? Tell me how Nigerians will survive in this kind of economic situation. The government should open up the borders for rice to come into the country, and they should crash the price so that it would be affordable for all, because Nigerians are dying of hunger on a daily basis. Finally, I was not wrong when I said what we are practicing in this country is paddy government. Legislators and judiciary are following how Faritimi was handcuffed, but Yahaya Bello was unhandcuffed and even smiling. God bless Nigeria. Temitope Onotoye from Ijagimo community. All right, thank you very much for your message. It's now time to start taking phone calls. Don't forget, just 2 minutes for your submission is Open Mic Thursday, so you can choose whatever story you'd like to address. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name, please.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
My name is Samuel. I'm calling from K2.
Welcome.
Concerning the Greek collapse, well, our president has told the whole world that his reforms have started yielding positive results. Maybe the Greek collapse is one of the positive results that we have started seeing. Electricity is essential to survival of human beings, especially in this part of the world. But where is it today? Banking system, we are having cash crisis there. In petroleum, it has become luxurious that people cannot afford to buy it. These are the signs of a positive reform of our Mr. President. Concerning Edo governor, I believe the budget they gave him to read, they must have written it in both figure and words. So if the man couldn't comprehend figures, what about the words? It means that by the time he starts operating in Edo State, if they give him 100 billion and they tell him that this is 100 million, he will just put his hand there and sign it. Nigeria has been captured. In Lagos State, an honorable was elected. After the election, under APC platform, they were holding meeting in Cᴏᴏvᴜ area. The hoodlum entered that place. They grabbed the honorable that is representing the area in Lagos State House of Assembly, and they dealt with him mercilessly. What is their complaint? They said that when before he became honorable, he was joining and eating with them. As soon as they helped him, they supported, he became honorable, and they didn't have access to him.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you for your insight. Hello.
Hello, good morning, stage.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
My name is Tľokia.
All right.
I don't want to say much. The last call I just spoke my mind because according to the APC, because the APC came out of a system, if any person that can be able to read figure very clear, that person is a criminal. So are you telling me that all those APC governors, like a Lagos State governor, that are reading figure very well, they are accurate? So at the end of the day, criminal. So those are the questions those are the things we are talking. When this man was coming, when he was camping at a basis, we were saying this man does not know. If he don't have the confidence to even speak in public, he was even shaking. They say he don't know how to talk, he don't know how to talk. Why can't you say he don't know how to talk? Look at people the OT as he read. He couldn't able to complete anyone. And before he read that thing, and I read that thing for more than 3 or 4 days before coming to the public. You understand? Look at the mess up. The mess up. The same man was campaigning. He said, I will bring this security to a day state. I will provide security. So they say, what kind of a governor is that? So I don't blame him. Even when the president was giving campaign, the president said, now statistics will go up. So if you don't know statistics, how can you go to meet the people? Those are the major people that put us in this way, because people that are fair, most of them, they were in the garage, they were a street boy, become a governor, become senator, become minister, become president. So that's why we are not going forward. Take all of them. Most of them, they don't have background. You cannot trace that to anywhere. So we just pray that when there is trouble, God will deliver us. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm sick. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Fine. And my friend Fuad.
As well.
Okay. God bless all of you. This is Barrister Peter Uku. And I'm calling from 괡ᴜ Maryland. See, on the issues we are focusing on today, or let's say it's an open mic.
Yeah, it's open mic.
Yes, I have a few issues that I want to try and bundle together very quickly because of time. Let me start from the issue of insincerity on the part of the present APC government. There is gross insincerity in the sense that when the Bola Tinubu administration came in at inception, they told Nigerians that they met an empty treasury. So 1 year after, Nigerians have been waiting to know who left the open treasury and what are they going to do? Who is going to account for the emptying the open treasury? Till today, we don't know. All we are hearing is Emefiele. Emefiele was not the president. He was only a central bank governor. What of other people that emptied the treasury? That is number one. But I'll say we want answer to that because Nigerians are suffering untold hardship, and we are tired of it. Instead, people are talking of next election in 2007. I want to say that it should be made a crime for anybody to talk of 2027 election. It should be made a crime, especially when somebody like George Akume, the so-called secretary to the federal government.
Thank you very much for calling, sir. We appreciate you. Hello.
Hello, Sage Babalola. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Shola, and I'm calling in from. I'm calling this morning from your boy Kwaja.
Welcome.
Yeah, so my open mic, just like the previous barrister, I'm going to sum everything up together, but I will dwell more on what I have discovered to be the problem of this country. The problem that has led us to where we are, as a nation where we have lost morals, good morals, where the leaders, the politicians, because of their selfish interest, have divided the people. And I will use the word that I don't want to say foolishly. I will say maybe ignorantly, the people too, you understand, have told the line that the politicians have put as a path, where all that matters to us as a people is no party for jungle. As long as me, I'm okay, I don't care if any other person is okay. Tribal sentiment, ethnic sentiment, religious intolerance, these are tools in the hands of these politicians. I remember those days when I was so young. I'm in my 40s now, mid-40s. Nobody cares if you are Igbo or Hausa, we stay together. You understand? But now, just go to the streets. Just gauge the opinions of ordinary people on the street. You will see that everybody doesn't care. As long as I'm okay, I don't care. So what's the bottom line of everything now is that until the youth, especially the youth, I'm telling you the truth, it is the youth that can put these politicians on their toes. And unfortunately, the youth we have now, they're into Yahoo. They are busy making money. But something happened recently, I'm rounding up now. I read that some youths went to a politician, a House of Rep member, I think I've forgotten the state, maybe Akwa Ibom. He said they questioned him that what has been his benefit to their constituency. He said he has been there for 32 years, and he was manhandled. I'm not saying that he can manhandle anybody, but the truth is that until the people themselves stand up, God will not come to your rescue.
Thank you.
Let's leave aside all those parties I mentioned.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for calling. We appreciate you. 09136000410 is the number to call. We're going to pause on phone calls for a bit so we can take WhatsApp messages. I don't want it to build up too much and then we're unable to take it. Hold on. All right. We have a message here, we have multiple messages here on WhatsApp. I salute you gallantly, my lady Sage. How's your morale for this beautiful morning? God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so very much for your message. We have good morning, Sage and Fouad. The president is saying their reform is working. As for me, I'm yet to see any of the reforms working. A bag of rice is about 90,000 naira. A liter of petrol is sold over 1,000 naira. Greed collapsed 12 times in this year. $1. And the exchange rate is about 1,600 naira. Let the president stop deceiving we Nigerians. What is the purpose of keeping the Minister of Power in office? Is it to increase tariff or to continue with estimated billing? If he cannot find a solution to the grid collapses that has occurred at least 12 times this year alone, what is the point? I want somebody to tell me one sector that is functioning in Nigeria under this president. He promised a lot, but he has never fulfilled any. The power sector, the banking sector, educational sector, agricultural sector, petroleum, etc. None is working. Benjamin from Shogunle there with a message. Thank you, Ben. Good morning, Mainland Radio. Stevie Kellu from Maryland. All right. My open mic today, I would advise those clamping down on Dele Faratimi's book to stop such exercise because it is an exercise in futility. The book has gained traction. It's in the public domain. The more effort to stop its circulation, the more the search and hunger for the book. In other words, the book is not just bestseller on Amazon, it is the bestseller in Nigeria, period. Thank you very much, Steve E. Kellu. We have Hello Mainland FM crew. Honestly, I'm not surprised about the high price of PMS coming from Port Harcourt refinery, which is obviously the result of the games that the NNPCL has been playing to ensure that the price of fuel remains high to the detriment of the suffering Nigerians. This is the same fear I expressed yesterday. All these shenanigans are quite deliberate, but God is watching. I also want the whole world to know what is happening in the southeast. Security agencies under the command of the federal government are killing the economy of the region with all manners of senseless roadblock. The whole southeast is under siege. Movement has become difficult. Intimidation and harassment of citizens have become the order of the day. Let us fear God. Victor Aloy from Ikeja. All right. Thank you for your message. Alfred. Okay, let me read from Victor Aloy Igboke from Ikeja, who says, hold on. Alfred from Isolo says, I will be surprised if Farotimi is surprised that he's being persecuted for speaking the truth in a society that is full of lies. Lying is the order of the day from presidency to the common man on the street. In such a society, there's a heavy price to pay for speaking the truth. But should we all continue to keep quiet? No. Some people have to pay the price whatever the cost. I am sure that at the end, the truth will prevail. Thank you very much for your message. Good morning, Sage. Why is the federal government not taking serious actions against this embarrassing, incessant collapse of the national grid? Is this not an economic sabotage against the Nigerian state? It's very unfortunate to see ourselves in this untidy and uncoordinated system. The same cloudy situation will not allow the truth to prevail in all structures of the country. Mr. Dele Faratimi will come out triumphantly, notwithstanding the hardwired conspiracy against him. A cross before a crown. Noah from Igondo there with a message on WhatsApp. I'm reading more messages on WhatsApp. We have a shame on the characters that have messed up the electoral system. Yet they are raining praises on Ghana for conducting a free and fair election. May mysterious... I'll just skip to the next line. Anyone blaming the commercial banks for the problem of cash crunch and other artificial problems we are facing is a learner. It's failure in every aspect since 2015, where people were made to believe that Buhari was an angelic character that would save Nigeria. When he left the country, it became worse than he met it. And if the present government is serious about fighting corruption, Buhari should be answering questions in the same way that Emefiele is answering now. But unfortunately, the present government is in the same boat, with more policy somersaults and inconsistencies. Steve, thank you very much. I'll do 2 more messages and it's back back to the phones, all right? Hello. It should no longer be news that the national grid collapses every day, and there are more collapses that are still coming. It's just corruption that is making the sector to collapse. The neglected power sector mentality has also affected other important sectors, including the medical, education, even the refinery, and that is why we are where we are. Thank you very much, Babajide, for your message. A message from Awola Christopher says, we know why the national grid frequently collapses. It is the humongous corruption, because we are told that for every collapse, it takes some 25 million to reinstate it. On the much touted electoral reforms and 2027, no reform will work under this government. They won't even allow it. Nigerians have been captured. It's only God that can deliver us from these one chance. Apologies to Mr. Samuel from K2. All right, thank you very much. Well, that's it for the messages that I will take for now. I'll take phone calls and then read Facebook messages and then back to phone calls so everybody's able to get a word in. It's still Mainland Focus, Open Mic Thursday here on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Sage Babalola. Call, tell me your name, tell me your location, and talk to me. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning, Babalola.
Good morning, sir. Nice to have you.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay, Peter Monse from Shomolu. Babalola, and all callers on Mainland FM, and all listeners, I want to report this morning on this open mic that there is wailing, there is mourning, there is crying, there is lamentation everywhere. Which area does this happen? When you come to Palm Grove, there is a street they call Owoduni Street. And there's another street, Odogbolu, Ibiwo Yoba, Oseni Street, Nkana Street. Within those areas, I want to tell you what Ikeja Electric, that we call NEPA, has done to that area recently. That even up to yesterday, a lot of people are bottling up anger. And I don't know the way they will express it. Let me tell you what happened. In September this year, those that are on estimated bill were paying 26 to 27,000 naira for their bill. And then in October, they brought the bill of 58,000 naira. We were saying, how did this kind of increment come about? From 26 to 58. And let me tell you what happened there before yesterday. The same NEPA, the same human beings that we thought they are, now brought a bill on 1 meter, 259,000. From 58,000 to 259,000 for 1 meter. 1 meter. 1 meter. This is an area where people are struggling to drink garri. I know a family that have withdrawn their children from school, and I know those that their businesses are closed down. Since yesterday, I cannot do any work, and I couldn't pay my photographer because the POS person told me no light to charge the machine. Now tell me where government does not give people light, and then you are bringing this kind of ungodly and demonic and satanic deal onto people. How do you want them to pay? The simple question I'm asking this morning, I need advice from callers. How do we handle this situation? Because tomorrow they will bring the ladder and say they want to disconnect. Please tell me, how do we react so that we don't take laws into our hands? I don't want to sound like I am promoting anarchy. I need advice from people so that I will take it to the people there. How do we handle this situation? Because this is criminal and madness.
Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate you. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, can you turn down the volume, please?
Good
All
morning.
right. Good morning.
John from Mogba.
All right, welcome.
I want to talk about tax reform bill.
Okay.
We're talking about equity and equality. Where will equality and equity come in? When in the north they are not smoking cigarettes, they don't gamble. They don't drink. And we drink here, we gamble here, we smoke cigarettes here. And yet you want to collect taxes. Are you with me?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Everyone can hear you.
They want to share the same level of the same percentage of taxes with we here. Is that possible? What of the inherent dangers that we derive from smoking and gambling and womanizing? So we will bear the brunt. They will enjoy the money. Is that equity? Or not there? Most of the resources, the natural resources there in their domain, they are taking it, so they are using it for themselves secretly, and they are not paying taxes on it. They have their own laws.
which is the Islamic laws, which is not applicable to us, but it's applicable to them. Is that equity?
Hold on.
I wonder when you begin to talk. Hello?
Hold on. Let me ask you, you do understand that those are not necessarily the factors being considered here. They're talking about the fact that they are disadvantaged. The poverty level there is something to worry about. The out-of-school children. The percentage from there, hold on. The percentage from there is a lot more. There's insecurity there that prevents them from even being able to farm. And you can understand that farming is one of their primary source of revenue generation. So they are currently at a disadvantage and they are unable to raise internally generated revenue. Those are the factors being considered, not their drinking and smoking and womanizing habits.
Good. Say. Let us look at it this way. Who put them at that disadvantage level? When our forefathers, when our Lord was canvassing for education, enlightenment, and where were the leaders? I can tell you that the North has benefited in terms of leading this country immensely. And I can tell them for you, we all know it's in public domain. What have those leaders done for the North, for their people over there? So we bear the brunt of their failure. That's where you look at the insecurity we are talking about. The borders over there are porous. And in one place, they say people coming from Nigeria and their brothers got a speak in Nigerian language. God will not allow it to out here. They allow it over there. Okay. It's quite unfortunate. Good morning.
You are indeed entitled to your opinion. Hello. The volume on your radio, please. Morning, sir. Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
My name is Prince Y.S. from America. I think the collapsing of electricity as well. I think the whole social supply them gas money. They are going about 2.something trillion. What are we talking about? So you want to be collecting money from Nigeria and you are not paying those who supply you that? That we have issue. I think Mr. President has to intervene. The minister has to do something. Those private bodies that run our Jᴏɪᴜ and disco, are they really competent to handle this organization? If they are not ready to staff us, if they are not ready, they have no manpower to run the organization. It's better to take it away from them. No prepaid meter, estimated B every month. We have been heading to. I want this thing to stop, and I put everything in the doorstep for Mr. President to please ask for 2013. When they sold this into their phone again, that's why they're facing this problem. I think it's enough for that sector. And finally, those who's beating drum for this man, they keep saying, go ahead, you sleep to power. That somebody is framed with the mouth next past years. I want that man to say, okay, I agree, as a small man name, no problem. Then anything to come, we read that book and we say, it's my duty something. So sometimes, if the man has evidence, the matter is in court. But it's not taking another dimension. Look at the Ibadan, one Abuja. So the matter is so heavy now. If this man is present, know that he has no concrete evidence. The best is to send an apology. Because when somebody says to power, he says, yes, we are saying the truth. We can blame the organization, but you don't mention names. You want somebody's name, and you want somebody to say, hey, I think I robbed my body.
Thank you.
My dear sister, no way.
Thank you for calling. Hello.
Hello, Sage.
Yes, good morning. Hello, I can hear you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Ajibola calling from Ikola.
All right, welcome.
And we have to continue to speak truth to power. Sorry to the last caller. He said we should apologize. Apologize for what? For saying the truth. And the Bible said, the truth exalts a nation. But we should apologize for saying the truth. That is what led this country to this present position we are. I even watched his last press conference after he left the prison, I think a couple of days ago. You will see the way the man is still talking, and it's not buying down on what he said. If I say the truth and he wants because of that truth harm you, then no problem. That is what will move this nation forward. They put a forth for the independence of this nation, that intentionally, because they know that if they can't fight for the future of this nation, then the future will be doomed. That is what they did then. But we are asking that, okay, we should not say the truth. That is what led us to this kind of problem as we are. Is this how governance should be? Is this how governance should be for the past almost 10 years? And we should talk now that we are with APC. Look at the nonsense that is going on in Edo State. The number one person of the state cannot boldly. Come on, that is absurd. Now, if there is a missing billions or trillions now in that kind of place, they don't understand figure. Now, when we get to court, no, because we don't have anything against, because it is clear that everybody knows that they doesn't understand figure now. He's just signing. So that is why we are planted this nation in this problem that we have. When somebody said that they sold NEPA to their cronies, okay, when you know that they sold NEPA to the cronies, why don't you go after those people that they sold it to? Recover our national assets and republish it. All this shifting of blame, all this shifting of excuses. We don't want it again. They sold NEPA to their cronies. Go back to the cronies, withdraw the assets, sue them to court, punish them for doing that nonsense, and let us go court. Let's move past that nonsense.
Thank you.
Every day we are going to be repeating that statement.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I greet you. I greet everybody. National grid have collapsed 12 times. I want to ask, is the iron turning into rubber that is making it to collapse? Because last time they said that terrorists, I met them. So I want to provide a solution. They should remove those soldiers in Southeast from overhead bridge to Arachuku village to safeguard our national grid. That is the solution. Because it's affecting small-scale industries and businesses and the ice block. Number two, the governor that did a mistake while presenting a budget in State House. Every spokesperson came. The people that were laughing and talking can go to hell and burn to ashes. It's not a hate speech. If other political parties say that now, they go to a hate speech. What do you concern what the man said and Obasanjo? He was saying that Obasanjo stole money. Obasanjo was he not in the APC? Former PDP government that left PDP I joined APC 2014. When I went at the railway for Katsina to Nigeria and they made it for Nigeria. They are based on defense federal. APC are amplified propagandists. Concerning Father to me, I still support him. He is suffering from psychological and psychological and emotional political witch hunting. And his book is selling. He's an activist. I dare any judge or any person that says that he wants to character defame him to swear without to come out or say what in the man talk, whether it's not truth. Yes, I dare them to swear with Ogu. If what you follow to me talk, whatever is true. Nigeria's judiciary is in the pocket of the executive. Nigeria's judiciary have entered into Bermuda Triangle. They are finished.
All right. Thank you very much for your call. We appreciate you. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Faith.
Good
This is
morning.
Mr. James calling from Agbade Junction.
All right. Welcome.
So this repeated collapsing of a national grid goes to tell you that from President T downward, I mean, it's just like we are having round peg on a square hole, which makes things not to be working out for this country. I thank Mr. Ajibara from Kola for, expatiating on the fact that if someone stands on the truth, you don't need to back down, or else you will be more worse to it. And again, look at when our president was going about just taking every other country, winning the investors. Now I ask, will investor come and invest his or her money to where there is no assurance of power, where there is no assurance of good roads, no assurance of... You see, these things, just like they are playing on our intelligence. They knew quite all right that what they are doing is just to enjoy themselves and travel all over the country and all of that, because they know the real state of it, that if Nigeria is working, people would, just like a businessman, they can go anywhere and, investigate and know whether the area will need result if you actually invest there. So there's no point of going to invite anybody. the invitation, they will come by themselves. If the place is, it have a playing ground for good, for business to thrive. So the problem, okay, look at the issue of what has been happening in our oil sector. Nobody is talking about it again. Nigeria is comfortably buying fuel at 1,000 plus now. Imagine the time pass, you cannot even bear if anybody adds 1 kobo on fuel. But now they can add thousands without anybody getting worried, because they have pushed us to the point that even if they do little things for us, we start jumping up and celebrating them. That is the level where we are today. We have lost it. We have been captured, and that is why when even people rose to contest, they will tag you one thing or the other. Look at the impact protest. Look at the way it ended, just because they are seeking for good governance.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate you for your call. I'm going out to Facebook to read messages via our Facebook platform. We have John Bernard Ohi, who says, good morning. On the issue of the power system collapse, it beats my imagination that the president is not taking it serious. Power supply is the backbone of industrialization, and the president is just after taxation. Where will the money come from if many industries are closing down because of poor power supply? He needs to declare a state of emergency on the power sector if he wants the country to grow. John Bennett there with a message. The World on Facebook says, Fuad and Sage, you can agree with me that the power sector decline is intentional. The reason for this statement is this: we have resources that we can harness to generate power, and this country is blessed in that regard. We have hydro, we have solar, we have wind, even uranium, lithium, californium, which is rumored to be the source of insecurity in the north. Please, the question is, why can't we just use these resources and only depend on hydro? Why can't we bring in FDI to assist in developing these sources of power? The investors will make a lot of money and the country will grow its GDP as well. So this will be a win-win for Nigeria and foreign investors. This is actually one of the things that Nigeria and Germany are talking about. Plus, the collaboration between Nigeria and Germany is not new. We've been friends for years, or at least trade partners for years. We have more than 70 German countries here, but right now the focus is on energy maximization. We have the resources, they have the technology. That is the conversation they're having right now with the German president. So let's see what they're able to make out of this arrangement, if we're truly able to make the best out of this arrangement. When it's available, when there's more information available, we'll talk about it here. When Nat on Facebook says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. I feel like, or it feels like, my country is gradually heading beyond redemption from the hands of these individuals that are currently benefiting from its decay. Looking at the swift response from the judiciary to halt the sale of Farotimi's book, and suddenly the lawyers are looking for an avenue to redeem their bad image by using Dele Farotimi as a sacrificial lamb. What an embarrassment. Owen from Lagos. All right, we have Honorable Imafidon, who says, thank you guys for informing and educating us every day. Well done. Well, thank you very much for your appreciation. Basil Chika on Facebook here says, Afe Babalola should better be advised to discontinue this case with Farotimi, because no matter how you try to cover up a lie, the truth will someday challenge it. On the frequent national grid collapse, it is artificial and business for the boys because of the money that they are making, and the president is still wooing investors even with this kind of situation. Shame on all of them. Chika Bende from Trade Fair Lagos there. We have Olashile Raphael. I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong, but Raphael says, good morning. There's a fraud going on between service providers and the bank. I use the USSD code on my phone before I do any transaction, and they will charge me. To make matters worse, the connection continues to fail. If I try it again, another 6 or 7 naira without making any transaction. Yesterday, 5 times I was deducted for the transaction and it did not go through. So here's the thing. When you use USSD code, there is a charge automatically. For every USSD transaction that you perform, there is a charge. Now, the sad thing is whether or not that transaction happens successfully. If you're able to see that transaction through, it doesn't matter, because this is an automated process, sadly. So whether or not you're able to achieve your aim, whether it's to transfer or receive money or whatever, as long as you use USSD, you have to pay a certain amount of money, and that's what you are paying. So I don't think it's, well, it's not my place to determine if it is a fraud or not. It's really not my place, but it is, that is what happens once you start any transaction. Even when you receive money, There's a levy that you pay for receiving money. There's a levy you pay for sending money. There's also the security levy, I think 0.005 that we pay. There's also a levy for USSD transaction. So that's just what it is. And I don't know if it was the Big Talk that had a financial expert, or I don't know if it was Mainland Business Cafe that had an expert come to talk to us about the multiple levels that we pay when we involve ourselves in bank transactions or what have you, and the multiplicity of these levies. But it is what it is, and I'm sorry about your experience. We do have a message here from Sheon JC, who says, good morning Mainland FM, I'm Oluwa Sheon from Festac. Back in 2023, someone called DSS to go and help them collect clothes from tailor in Abuja. Today, a court told DSS the hunt bookseller who sell Dele Faratimi's book is the police. The Department of State Service has nothing to do with this. It's the police. All right, thank you very much. Unless there's information that I'm yet to read, but so far everything I've read, I've not necessarily seen anything that has to do with the DSS. It is mostly engagement with the police and the court. But thank you for your message. Maybe I'll look into it. We have Sean Johnson, who says, it is very painful to have a collapse of skipping grid, and yet we have the capacity to generate electricity even more than developed countries. The decline of the educational sector is intertwined with the power sector and all other sectors of the economy, as we need educated individuals as much as possible. The problem is that our elite do not need our people to be educated, so that they will not fight back when they try to implement policies that are supposed to make the poor poorer and enrich the rich, thereby expanding the distance between the rich and the poor. The bedrock to solving Nigeria's problem is education, and that is why anywhere in the world you see Nigerians who are opportune to travel out and school abroad, they do exceptionally well. Fact check this statement and you'll see Nigerians given the opportunity can build Nigeria to be number one in the world. I have no doubt in my mind, I'm very optimistic. Nigerians are exceptional people. I do agree with you. It's nothing to really argue about there. James Ogbonna says, Sage, I agree to essentially. Sage, do you have cash or are you experiencing shortage? Someone that have money, that'll be worried about this. I'm sorry, that was a joke. But tell me, I can help you look for cash anywhere. That's just on a lighter mood to make you laugh. But on a serious note, Sage, what is the offense that Nigerians have committed to be facing all these challenges? The government should tell us so we can apologize. Let us remember that Godwin Emefiele is no longer the CBN governor. So where is this cash shortage coming from? Is it that Nigerians are the one deliberately hoarding the cash for fear that the CBN wants to mop up the Naira note? Sage, please educate the public that there's no such thing as old Naira note losing its validity by December 31st, like somebody was asking me yesterday. Both the old and the new notes will continue to coexist. Please, people should circulate whatever cash they are hoarding. And as for the national grid, they should stop telling us whenever it collapses. It's just normal, like when they take light and bring it back. Sage, please take care of yourself. I'll take you out for Christmas. James Ogbonna from Oshodi. All right, thank you very much. Please, there's no such thing as the phasing out of the old notes. There's already a presidential directive on that. All the notes would coexist. You can use the old notes, you can use the new notes. There's no phasing out of any notes. So if that is the reason that you're hoarding cash, it is an exercise in futility. There's no phasing out of any cash, old or new. They are coexisting. It is a valid legal tender in the country. You can spend it. Let's go back to taking phone call 0913-6000410. Talk to me 2 minutes. Open mic Thursday. I'm Sage Babalola. What is your name and what is your story for the morning? Hello.
Good morning, Madam Sage.
Good morning.
Okangolina is my name.
Welcome.
I want to talk about this Faratimi case.
All right.
Now, they are bringing a lot of litigation against the man. They don't want the book to be sold again. They were calling for the publisher to stop printing and all kinds of things. Now, my question is, what is inside that book that you people don't want us to know? As I am now, but I'm saying I want to look for the book and buy it because they are trying to cover up something. That man has okay. Is it only that man that said it? The retired Supreme Court judge last year, he told us that the Nigerian judiciary is full of corruption. My sister, you heard it. We said it clear. Somebody who just retired from Supreme Court, he said judiciary is full of corruption. So what is it that this man said that man didn't say? Now you people want to cover because they're so planning to see that the man remains perpetually in prison so that he doesn't come out to tell us more. Because I know that man. The moment they bring him out, his mouth will not close. Unless you want to kill him. His mouth will never close as you see that man. So don't want to keep him perpetually there. So as I'm telling you now, that thing that the man wrote, that they don't want us to read, want to buy that book, because they don't want us to. If you as it is now, somebody told a lie against you, Madam said as you are. I said you went and stole my yam, and it turns out that you did not. So why will you be covering the fact that I lied against you? So it means that what the man said is the truth, and they don't want us to hear about it. But we already know that they are corrupt. We know it. It's not me that said it. Their own members said it. All these things that we are saying, they will say, go to court. What's it about? It's because the court is compromised. The court belongs to them. Good morning.
Thank you for calling. Hello. Oh, maybe call back. I apologize. Hello.
Good morning, Sid. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Good morning.
We thank God for another day. My name is Ambrose.
Right.
Page, they say national grid collapse. They gave us light this morning, though. Me, I don't understand, though. National grid collapse and some people have light. So where is the light coming from? The more you see, the less you see. Sage, I'm from Edo State. And this shame in Edo is unprecedented. What kind of shame? A governor. Who brought this man? We knew how money flies during the election stage. My people were calling me. The PDP were doing their own secretly. APC were doing their own openly. It was a show of who spent more. And they were looking for candidates. They couldn't get any candidate. Somebody who cannot read figure. God, in Edo State, an educated state, can you see what corruption can do? What corruption cannot do does not exist. I'm ashamed of Edo State. I'm ashamed of the whole people who brought this man into that place simply because of vindictiveness and all of that. See where Edo State is today. The issue of lastly, the issue of naira to dollar. Well, I love bank transactions. If I have my way, I don't want to spend cash. But the problem we have is if you go to banks today, Sage, 80 to 90% they are failed transactions, and they charge you SMS, security, everything. They will charge you again monthly. They will charge when you do the transaction. So I don't know. I'm not, because this government, you can't speak for them. Maybe they are trying to do this cash limitation so that people can go into transactions and then make sure the naira appreciates. I am not saying it is so. I'm just conjecturing because this government, you can't speak for them. Good morning.
Morning. Thank you very much for calling. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Merry Christmas in advance.
Merry Christmas.
This is Madam Issy.
Yes.
Because I did not sleep with light.
Yeah, the national grid collapse. Well, I believe that they've started with the reinstatement. I believe.
They brought it. They took it 10 minutes after since yesterday morning, and they brought it back 10 minutes after 7 this morning. Not up to 20 minutes. They took it away. I think the national grid don't collapse again. This is an asset that the government has spent 29 billion, if not more, in the last 1 year. Instead of it to be improving, it's deteriorating. And Nigerian government is looking. Why is national grid collapsing a few days to Christmas? Why? To me, I believe there's sabotage in all these things. Either they hook it and they unhook it and hook it back. When they collect money, they will take it back. Because there's no way a power station like that would be collapsing, no matter what. From what we even read, when EFCC went into the place, they fixed some cable that were supposed to bring 9 mm. They brought 5 mm. Who collected that 5 mm inside store for them to work with? Who collected it? There must be somebody who is a store manager in whatever, in Genco or whatever they call themselves. So why did they collect such things? And that is what they are doing. They are frustrating us, making us not to be happy in our country because they want to make money. I've never seen anybody that died that they say, okay, oh, madam or take this one naira, buy pure water, are going to heaven or going to hell. You people take all kinds of money from our treasury and put us in jeopardy. And after you want to tell me birthday knock to come and be whitewashing you. When the people are there, and they are supposed to. So what is happening in our electricity wahala?
Thank you, Madam Ife.
And you want to tell me birthday knock and what they call the medicine.
Thank you very much. Thank you, we appreciate you. Let's take more phone calls. Hello.
My dear Sage, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. You are doing well.
Thank you.
Anybody that want to take my daughter out should come and call me. Oh, it's not for sale yet. Oh,
okay.
That is it. Engineer from Yaba.
Welcome.
Let me correct something about the tax bill, tax reform bill. The northerners smoke, and all the cola nut we plant in the south, they eat much more of them. So even in their Sabongiri, there are a lot of drinking there. So the tax reform bill, where is the devolution of power? That the government, the federal government will be collecting tax for everybody. That the local government can know that is constitutionally authorized, and the state government that is constitutionally authorized to collect tax can no more collect tax now. It's only the federal government down expecting everybody to now go to them, cap in hand to come and collect money. It is not supposed to fail through at all. Don't let us in. It should be killed immediately because revolution of power. We want fiscal federalism that we can control our own resources where it is being produced. When you want to restructure Nigeria, that decree 4 of 1966 be repealed immediately. That we get back to our 6 geopolitical regions, and then let us have our state in place. That is restructuring the reforms that will see the light of the day, whether they like it or not. Revolution of power is sacrosanct, and we must hold on to it. Coming to this national grid is sabotage all the way. Tağᴇ book is, if they stop printing it, people will print it in their private homes, and we will circulate it all over the world. It is best selling and will continue to sell. That is just it. National grid. It is sabotage. Is it bamboo or plywood that they use to build our national grid that is being eaten up by termites now?
Thank you.
I'm an electrical engineer. It's not they are bringing it's corruption, and they should stop it immediately.
Thank you for calling.
It is criminal.
Thank you so very much for calling. That's all the calls that we can take for this morning. We'll round off as always by taking some of the messages that we have on our platforms. For WhatsApp, we have top of the morning to you, Sage. The seeming simping of Tinubu with the likes of France is rather worrisome and unsettling. African countries, especially Nigeria, ought to work towards self-sustenance rather than being willing tools and puppets in the hands of world powers. Some good African governments are driving out the many decades international cancer and the retrogressive element from their country, but one man is happily wearing the rejected yoke of neo-slavery on his own neck just to score cheap acceptance. Nigeria must be free. Nigeria must be great again. God save us from these leaders. Thank you, Sage. Leke from Alimosho. Thank you very much, Leke. Good morning, Mainland FM crew. Politicians planning towards 2027 general election is unfair. To the people of Nigeria that are seeing this, it's just 1 year of this current administration. Sage, what does this teach us? It means none of our current leaders have Nigerians in mind, and they lack the ability to even build the nation. Chris Ojubeli from Ikeja there with a message on WhatsApp. have more messages here. We have, hi Mainland FM, the level at which the dollar fell was astonishing. We were very happy to see this. And 2 days later, the dollar jumped back on its feet and is going back to the height it was 2 days ago. The question is, what did the CBN do to bring down the dollar? And what exactly happened that it rose back up? It's only very simple. How can you expect the currency to have value when we're not producing or exporting? All the sectors of the economy have declined to the grave. Now, on the issue of the new Naira note, have you asked or have you checked this new note that the hawkers is selling? If you look closely, you will see that the bands on the new note have no bank name or logo on it. The answer is it's coming directly from the source. If you can decipher what I just typed, you'd understand what I'm trying to say. Until we'll decide to do the right things as a nation, which we have been saying over and over again, diversification of our resources. Only then can Nigeria grow. Sean there with a message. Good morning, Sage. Every morning we wake up to heartbreaking news. Why is it that successive administrations since the military is always worse than the previous? We've been battling with lack of money in our banks, POS operators selling our monies back to us, incessant and embarrassing national grid collapse, consistent fuel crisis. How did we get here and how do we leave here? Thank you, Ayo from Ogba. Thank you very much. A message here, Sage, I greet you essentially. Okay, I read this already on Facebook. We have one here. FM from Ogun State says, why are we forgetting that transmission lines are over 50 years old? The increase in power generation and supply to the transmission line is adding even more pressure to them. It is therefore imperative for the state governors to key into the new electricity law to generate and distribute power within their respective domains. That would ease the pressure on the national grid. The German president has lauded the president's economic reform and pledged his support for the reform, citing that Germany at a point in their history had gone through similar economic challenges. I asked again, if you're an MD of organization and you meet a net revenue deficit with high debt ratio, will you continue the status quo? God bless Nigeria. FM from Ogun State there with a question. I'm going to Facebook now. We have a message here that reads, Darlington Ogbo says, Madam Sage, how are you today? And my Oga Fuad, my open mic is on our Sᴏᴜ national grid. That collapses anyhow. It seems the stress in the country is affecting the wires too, because I don't understand why everything in Nigeria that goes anyhow without anyone facing consequences for their ineptitude. I weep for the country. However, one is on Edo State Governor who said billions are confusing him. I think those beneath him will confuse him more when they pack money right under his nose without him knowing. Then he will see real confusion. Darlington from Okoko Michael there with a message. Stay safe. Oh, you stay safe. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's everything we have for you this morning on Mainland Focus. It's been quite interesting. I love taking feedback from all of you. It's a very mind-opening experience to hear the many angles that we can actually apply to a conversation, the many methods through which you choose to analyze these issues is very, very mind-opening, and I enjoy the experience. Thank you for your time. We'll go on a break now, and then Creative Nigeria would be on your airwaves. Let's talk about Nigeria. I know that too many things are going wrong, but there are things that are going right, and I'd like us to accentuate it as much as we do other things that are going wrong. I'm Sage Babalola. Thank you once again. The Morning Express continues, of course, with Creative Nigeria at 10:15 a.m. Don't go anywhere. We're at the sound of Lagos. This is Mainland 98.3 FM.